It's Platt, and today we head to the Arctic Circle. That's next to Platt's Beer of the Week. Alright, gang, our particular beer this week comes to us from Einstok Brewing Company. It is they call it an Icelandic wee heavy. It's their take on the classic Scotch Ale style wee heavy. A little bit about the company. The company is based in, I know I'm going to say this wrong, Akureyri, Iceland. They're roughly 60 miles from the Arctic Circle. I can't confirm it, and I didn't see it on the website or anything, but this probably as far north as any brewery on the planet. Maybe there's something in Finland or Norway, but this has to be pretty close to it as far as breweries found up north. The company itself was founded in 2009 by a gentleman named Jack Zischerman. Not a lot of information on him or the background. I believe he was a gentleman that was in the marketing field, worked with major companies, and wanted to open a brewery. Not sure how they got to Iceland, but that's the story. Their motto, if you go to the website or they have kind of a Viking theme to it, and their motto is drink, conquer, repeat, which is very Games of Thrones, like theme. Their beers are available in 22 countries worldwide, generally Northwestern Europe, U.S., and China. But they're expanding out, and I believe now they're in most of the states here in the U.S. They've been out here in Nevada for a couple of years now, I believe, as far as distribution. Unfortunately, when I got this beer, and I've seen the beer, Einstok's line of beer in my local liquor stores for a while, that's why I was interested. But doing the research, there's not a lot available on there. The website's pretty straightforward as far as just kind of focusing on the beer styles they have. There's no Wikipedia page, so there's not a lot available to their backstory, which is kind of a shame. Because one thing about the beer industry that's different than if we were selling laundry soap, well, no one really cares who makes Tide or who is the scientist behind all temperature cheer or whatever. But brewing, we kind of want to hear the story. We kind of like to meet the brewmaster, get his take on things, or we kind of, have a better relationship. And there's just one a lot available in the brewery, which is kind of disappointing. As the bird could tell you, sorry about that. Kind of disappointing because, again, being from such a unique place like Iceland or wherever, you got a feeling there's a great story there. But for whatever reason, they didn't share it. So I thought we'd go ahead and talk about some of their other beers. First and foremost, their white ale. That's their flagship beer, and they even make the bold claim that they make the best white ale in the world. Like I said, that's a bold claim, but I guess we may have to try it just to find out. Another one of their beers is the Toasted Porter. They claim that they use Icelandic roasted coffee. I've never heard that term before, so I don't know if it's a special technique, if it's kind of a local thing or not. But again, I guess that's in a marketing kind of way, setting yourself apart, again, really buying into the whole Icelandic theme. Another one of their beers is called Arctic Berry Ale, picked with what they call bilberries, B-I-L berries, bilberries. It's basically a European blueberry, probably just a slight variation on the theme. So it's a blueberry ale, which actually sounds quite intriguing. And last but not least, their winter ale, where they use real spruce tips to flavor the beer. Actually, hundreds of years ago, items like spruce tips were used to brew beer, and not so much hops, especially in, again, places like Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Scandinavia. You probably didn't have access to hops. They just probably didn't grow in that climate, so you had to use other things like spruce tips. Well, enough about Einstok. Let's try the beer, but before we do that, let's check out the stats. Okay, so like I said earlier, the particular style of beer we have is referred to as a wee heavy. It's a Scotch ale, but it's kind of a bigger, maltier Scotch ale. So I thought we'd talk about the style real quick. Just to review the numbers: SRM 15 to 30, ABV 6.2 to 8% alcohol by volume. This is a stronger beer for sure. We're not quite to the barley wine level yet, but you're definitely going to notice the alcohol. and the IBU's 25 to 35. This beer generally is reddish brown to very dark in color. Just a classic, bigger, darker type beer. The body is quite significant. Mouth coating, as the bird could tell you, slightly viscous style beer. Even though it has a big body, it doesn't have a long finish, more of a medium finish to it. There's no real hop aroma or flavor, and there's just a little bit of hop bitterness just to add balance, but this is still a very malt heavy, malt forward beer. If you've watched these videos for a while, you know I like the malty beer, so this is definitely up my alley. The alcohol, like I said, is noticeable to, I don't want to say hot, maybe slightly bit boozy. Hot, you're really not going to get to till you get around 10% or so. Like you're not going to get a burn, but you're going to notice it. It's just going to have like a boozy kind of mouthfeel, or whatever. You'll get a little booziness on it, but it's not hot to say. With that being said, the bird's fired up for wee heavies. Let's give this one a try. Alright. Plenty of carbonation. Here, let me pour the whole thing. This one is more of a reddish, on the reddish brown end. Like a darker Bock. We don't even get quite a half a finger of head. It's khaki. Malt's the first thing on your nose. Let's give her a try. Oh God, that is nice. Nice, malty, but it has some, even though it's not in there, the notes of like raisins and prune, the dark fruits are in there. Yeah, it's big in the mouth, but that finish does not linger too long. You get a little bit of the maltiness on your mouth. There's just no hops on this thing. It's balanced enough. It's not so sweet that it's cloying. So again, the hops have done their job just to add enough bitterness to it that you're not too sweet. But again, you don't notice that bitterness. It's just, you could tell that it's there to do its job. This is still a sweet-ish beer. Yeah, I do notice it going down. It's not warming, but it's I guess it's just noticeable. You're like, all right, I'm drinking a beer here, you know, something real. This is great. This is definitely not a normal August, summertime type beer. This is this will definitely be more in the fall style beer. But I guess my viewers in the southern hemisphere might appreciate this right now. Sorry about the bird. He's fired up today. Anyway, real good, real malty beer. Fits that wee heavy style perfectly. So that being said, I don't notice anything Icelandic about it. But that being said, they've stuck to the style. They've executed well. They've let the malt do its job, and they've just produced a nice big beer, which in my eyes are tough to beat. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or beers that you would like me to try, and I do want to say real quick, I've been trying, guys, but a lot of the liquor stores out here do this whole quarantine thing have really cut back on their selection, so things are a little harder to find, but I'm still looking. So if you have, like I said, a beer suggestion, leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Well, until next time, bottoms up.